Yeah, I don't ever want to hear it again.
How can people defend shit like that? Nick, you would be surprised how many people even come into this chat and they're like, this chat is disgusting for making fun of people with mental illness. And I'm like, well, that's an interesting way to defend killers. Get the fuck out. Dude, it happens all the time.
Please, honey.
Lisa strangled Bobby Joe, then took steps to remove her child.
Lisa told me that she cut the cord, held it between her fingers, put the baby inside her coat, and went out the door and got in her vehicle and drove off.
Lisa had made careful preparations. She'd come with a syringe and a clamp. She'd studied C-sections on the internet. The baby survived.
This is not something of somebody that's, has a mental illness. This was not a spontaneous fit of anger or rage. This was meticulously planned out.
I'm not sure if they're going to cover this in this one, but to my knowledge, Lisa Montgomery was in a relationship with a man that was pretty tumultuous, and she locked him down by saying, I'm pregnant. But she was never pregnant. And as time went on, she's buying bag your clothes. And he's like, yo, where's the baby bump? Where's the baby bump? So Lisa stole this baby to hide her lie from her boyfriend so that he would stay. And she did bring that baby home, and that was not his child.
Bobby Joe was loved in this small, close-knit town.
You couldn't live in Skidmore and not know her. So this is it? This is where she's buried?
Karen Kepka was her friend.
She looked good pregnant. She really did. She had that internal glow. She doesn't get that opportunity
haven't heard of that one,
to
Foggy.
hold her baby because that woman took that right away from her. I can't even comprehend what Bobby's family went through. Lisa Montgomery took Bobby Joe Stennett from us. Personally, today, I think she's evil. I think she is evil.
This is one of the most premeditated murders I've heard, because she talked to this woman online for months. Livin', thank you.
This is Lisa Montgomery.
Ah!
Is
Crack a joke. Chat, I know y'all got jokes on this shit. Lisa looks like she just smelled herself. I like how her default is like musty.
Is this the face of evil? Or just of a broken woman?
An evil, broken, musty woman.
I think she was probably about 5 there.
Diane Mattingly, her half-sister, grew up in the same
Karen?
house as Lisa.
Well, look at her eyes here. To see how bright and how big her smile is.
One
Me
night,
before my glow up?
Diane
Stop.
was 8 and Lisa just 4. There came an ordeal so traumatic that it's left lifelong scars.
Lisa and I were in the same room. We had bunk beds, but our beds were right next to each other. If we reached out with our little arms, we could touch hands.
Little arms.
This man walks into our room and he gets undressed and he gets in bed with me and he rapes me. And I remember just really thinking, I have to be quiet.
Oh.
She wakes up.
Oh. My heart, dude.
I couldn't let him do this to her. I couldn't. So I took it.
Diane never spoke of her rape as a child,
That's her
but was
sister.
later taken to foster care for parental neglect. After she left, Lisa felt the wrath of her mother, Judy.
The suffering that Lisa had at the hands of her mother is almost indescribable.
This is what I'm talking about. BBC is covering the story of Lisa Montgomery, trying to humanize her, and we're not humanizing Lisa Montgomery. We're just not. Well, that's not her, but
Judy would tape her mouth shut because she just didn't want to hear her mouth. She didn't want to hear her talking, so she would tape her mouth shut.
Lisa, who confessed to her crime, has been in prison for 16 years. Toby, who was in prison with her, became a close friend. Lisa told Toby she had brain damage.
She thinks that probably happened when her stepfather would grab her by her long hair and
2K!
slam her
Thanks for
head
hanging out
against
tonight,
the
guys.
concrete driveway repeatedly.
One more case
when
before
she
I
was
survive.
Just 6 or 7 years old.
Lisa's family moved constantly, a life of poverty, alcohol, and violence. Eventually, Lisa too was preyed upon and raped. Her tormentor was her stepfather, Jack.
It started.
I ain't mad at that ballad. Kratos, thanks for the
possible
sub.
that it started before then, but what we know is that Jack Kleiner started to groom her as pedophiles do. He would strip her naked. He would, whip her with belts and, beat her with his hands on her naked body.
Some of the abuse Lisa suffered as a child and her mental condition came up at her trial in 2007.
Well, of course.
None of it was seen as cause for leniency. Lisa was sentenced to death. But just 4 years ago, Lisa began to speak of her teenage years, the time of her deepest terror.
Jack had built a special room off of the trailer that they had lived in.
Is she still alive?
And,
No, she was executed.
They would bring Lisa in there, so the plumbers would come in and have sex with her, and they would hit her if she did it wrong, or if they needed electrical work. Hey, I got a daughter here you can have sex with.
The men, Lisa said, degraded and hurt her. 3 or 4 of them at a time. For hours.
I still can't grasp how a mother can say to her child, you have to earn your keep, so you have to have sex with this man so I can get the plumbing done.
A member of the team that originally prosecuted Lisa is skeptical of these horrific allegations.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, Bunny Boy. I don't like death
sex
penalty.
trafficking,
I don't. Just give him life
and
forever.
gang rape did not surface until 12 years after the trial. Now at the 11th hour, we have this newly discovered evidence, and Lisa Montgomery is the source that brings this up. It's an extremely delayed disclosure of additional horrific abuse.
Lisa herself is the main source of the story. How can we know it's true?
The government's chief expert at trial told us that he was now convinced that Lisa was sexually abused, gang raped, and trafficked by her mother.
Lisa's stories were corroborated by her cousin. Now Lisa has been diagnosed with mental disorders which make her delusional.
She was just kind of almost catatonic some days. She had spent so much time in her life blocking out horrible things that she just had this wall and she just blocked.
For months, she lied to her boyfriend about her pregnancy to keep him around, found a pregnant woman on Facebook, befriended her, and pretended to be pregnant for 5 or 6 months, and then drove hours to her house under the guise of wanting to meet her dogs, strangled her, a friend of hers, and then cut the baby out of her body. You cannot, I don't think you can plead insanity to this, especially not 30 years later. Like, yes, you can be highly traumatized, but this was so incredibly callous and planned, and it was all for Lisa to continue her lies. And you know,